have on the back of our formula sheet. The first example they give us, the sine of 30 is 1/2. So in our right triangle, let's go ahead and draw one on our paper and label one of the angles as 30 degrees. And if they give us the sine, remember that that's opposite over hypotenuse using our soprotilla. So our opposite side will be 1. Our hypotenuse will be 2. And then we can find the third side by using the Pythagorean theorem. So our adjacent side will be the square root of 3. Now who knows what the other angle would be? If this is 30 and this is 90, what would this be? That's right, 60. Because we know there's 180 degrees in a triangle. All right, so then they ask us for the cosine of 30, which will be adjacent over hypotenuse based on the 30. So adjacent, square root of 3, hypotenuse 2. Tangent of 30, which will be opposite over adjacent. So 1 over square root of 3. Can I leave that as my answer? No, you're right, I need to rationalize. So we'll get square root of 3 over 3. Now the next one switches to 60 degrees. So when we're doing opposite over hypotenuse, we want to think opposite of the 60, which now this is acting as my opposite. So that'll be square root of 3 over hypotenuse, which is 2. Next one is sine squared. This is really sine 30 quantity squared. So the sine of 30 was given to me. It's 1/2. Remember, when you square a fraction, you need to square the numerator and the denominator to get 1/4. And our next one, for part E, some technical difficulties here. Okay, so let me just jot down my picture again. So that's sine 30 divided by 5. Remember, the sine 30 was it given to us. That's 1/2 divided by 5. So this is really 1/2 divided by 5. How do we divide fractions? We change division to multiplication of the reciprocal. So this will be 1/2 times 1/5, which will be 1/10. Another thing to think about is just kind of dropping the 2 into the denominator and then performing multiplication. All right, last one is tangent of 60, which remember will be opposite over adjacent in regards to the 60. So based on 60, my opposite is this, and my adjacent is this. So that will be square root of 3 over 1, which is just square root of 3. Now for the remainder of them, you're going to need your special angles chart, which is on the back of your formula sheet. So this is what it looks like on the back of your formula sheet. You may want to write above the sine, the cosecant is the reciprocal. And for cosine, the secant is the reciprocal. And for tangent, the cotangent is the reciprocal. So when they ask you for the cotangent of 45, we'll go to 45. We'll find out what the tangent of 45 is. So we're going to then take the reciprocal of that to find the cotangent. Well, the reciprocal of 1 over 1 is still 1. So the cotangent of 45 is 1. Okay, the next one is the secant of 2 pi thirds. Remember, this is the reciprocal of the cosine. So we want to go find the cosine of 2 pi thirds in our chart. Go down your radian column, 2 pi thirds, go over to cosine, we'll get that it's negative 1/2. Now we're going to take the reciprocal to find out what the secant is, which will be 2 over negative 1, which is negative 2. reciprocal of the sine. So I'll find the sine first. Pi sixths sine. It's 1/2. And then we take the reciprocal of that, which will be 2/1. So my answer is 2. Okay, next few problems. Again, we're going to go find the regular sine, cosine, or tangent, and then we will take the reciprocal in order to find what we need. So cotangent is the reciprocal of tangent. So we'll find the tangent of 240 tangent, which is square root of 3/1. Then we'll take the reciprocal of it, which will be 1 over the square root of 3, which needs rationalized. Square root of 3 over 3. The secant is the reciprocal of which function, the sine or the cosine? Good, the cosine. So 7 pi over 6, we're going to find the cosine. Now when there's a negative in front, you want to put it in the numerator probably, so that you don't lose it and think it's part of your fraction bar. So now we will take the reciprocal of that, which will get me 2 over negative square root of 3. And then we must rationalize. So we'll get negative 2 square roots of 3 over 3. The negative could go in the numerator, the denominator, or out front. It doesn't matter. And then the last one, the cosecant, is the reciprocal of the sine function. Let's go to 135 and our sine. Take the reciprocal, and again, you don't have to show this work. You can take the reciprocal in your head, but just for the notes so that you have something written down. Then we have to rationalize. Ooh, the 2's will cancel, so my answer should just be square root of 2 for that one. Now on the back, we're actually going to apply some operations with these. So we may be adding, subtracting, multiplying. All right, so what operations do we see going on here? We see subtraction, right? What's going on between these two terms? Multiplication. You're still following the order of operations, which is that multiplication will come first. We need to multiply these two things together first, and then we will subtract them. So we're going to go to our special angles chart. We're going to find the cosine of 45. We're going to plug that in. And we're also going to find the sine of 45. We're going to plug that in. Now, how do we multiply a fraction and a non-fraction? Good, we force it to be a fraction by putting it over a 1. So this will get me 4 square roots of 2 over 2 minus 2 square roots of 2 over 2. And then we can actually reduce the outside terms to be 2 square roots of 2 minus 1 square root of 2. And since these have what's called like radicals, we can subtract them by subtracting the coefficients. 2 minus 1 is 1 square root of 2, or you could just write the square root of 2. Same thing in example B. We're going to go ahead and perform this multiplication first, and then we will subtract them. What is the tangent of 45? 1. That's easy. What's the cosine of 60? Cosine, 1/2. Again, you must perform multiplication first. So 6 times 1 is 6. 8 times 1/2 is 4. Then we can subtract those to get 2. All right, the last few, same concepts, just a little bit different with some reciprocal identities. So remember, secant is the reciprocal of the cosine. So the cosine of pi fourths is square root of 2 over 2. So we're going to take the reciprocal of that, which would be 2 over the square root of 2. Plus the cosecant, remember, is the reciprocal of the sine function. Sine of pi thirds is square root of 3 over 2. So we're going to take the reciprocal of that, which will be 2 over the square root of 3. And then we just need to rationalize each one of them. Well, let's multiply together first. Multiply those. And then each of those needs rationalized separately. So we'll have 2 square roots of 2 over 2 plus 4 square roots of 3 over 3. And I would accept that answer. We could simplify just one thing further. We can make this square root of 2 plus 4 root 3 over 3. You can't add these because they don't have like radicals. Okay, next one, we have cotangent of pi fourths, which remember is the reciprocal of the tangent. So we're going to pi fourths, find the reciprocal of this. So flip that around, it still is 1. Now this is a time sign this time. Now cosecant, remember, is the reciprocal of the sine function. So we'll go to pi halves, go to the sine, flip that, and it's also just 1. So now we have 3 times 5, which is 15. All right, now our last two have squares. Remember, you're just going to square the numerator and the denominator of the fraction. Okay, so for sine squared 60, remember that this is really sine 60 quantity squared. So go find the sine of 60. Go find the cosine of 30. Now make sure you square the top of the fraction, and a lot of you forget about the bottom. So the square root of 3 squared is just 3, because those undo one another. 2 squared is 4. Make sure you do the denominator. Same thing here, we'll get 3/4. And then to add them, you need a common denominator, which we already have. So this will get us 6. Keep the denominator common, 6/4, which we can then reduce to be 3/2 or 1.5. Okay, and then our last one, and we're going to find, bring that down, tangent of 30. Since it's tangent squared, we'll put quantity squared. Now the secant, remember, is the reciprocal of the cosine. So we'll go find our pi, and our cosine is -1. So it's really -1 over 1. So when we flip it and square it. So we have 1 plus 3/9 minus, this is really -1 squared, which is 1. Plus 1 and minus 1 just undo one another. We're left with 3/9, which reduces to 1/3. Your homework then is complete the 6.3 worksheet 1, which is a front only. The back will be your homework tomorrow.